So when I was younger, I kind of never really liked Kobe. I was on the he's a ball hog bandwagon, if that's what you want to call it. And as I get older, I still kind of believe that he was a ball hog, but I'm just way more accepting of it now. Like, no one's perfect. Everyone has holes in their game, and I think that was Kobe's major flaw. And I mean, you can define ball hog in different ways. Like, you can tell me I'm wrong, but it depends on your definition of ball hog. Like, I mean, there's just really no denying that by some definitions of ball hog, Kobe is a ball hog. And here is a perfect example my friend was showing me. This is the Kobe Bryant Attention to Detail series that he made.
Over here in the wing. But what I'm seeing is
And this one really stuck out to me because basically in this video, Kobe's just straight up lying, or yeah, I don't know. Like, okay, so there's this book I once read, and it was a poker book, and it makes you evaluate your motivations. It's basically, the book is basically teaching you how to be disciplined in poker. And by doing that, it makes you stay focused on the most important goal, which is winning. Because a person has, when competing, a person has many different goals. Like, one goal is winning. Another goal may be glory. Another goal may be like impressing their wife or their parents, or success of 3-point shooting, because that's something that they feel is important to them. Or they're trying to break a record for most free throws, or whatever the case may be. There's no denying that a person's goal is not solely winning. There's these little side goals that people have tugging at their attention, tugging at their focus. And Kobe's no exception. Like, yeah, he says like the most important thing is winning, and that's all that matters to him. That's like basically not true, unless he's some kind of cyborg. That's not true. And here's a perfect example. In this video, he says that he claims that, you know, he was killing Denver on the post, so they put Carmelo on him, a bigger player, and so he wanted to destroy Carmelo and break their spirit, which I guess is his way of winning. Like that, he thinks that that's the best course of action, which may, and then he goes on to say that he didn't see Trevor open, which, I'm sorry, like, that's just complete and utter bullshit. That is elementary shit. Like, he didn't see, and it was a slow play. Like, Billups slowly creeps towards him. He's got the ball here for quite some time, and you're gonna tell me like he didn't see him wide open? No, bullshit. He saw him. He saw Chauncey Billups slowly cheating, and he chose the other motivation, which is not winning. He chose the glory motivation. I'm not sure what his other motivation is. It's either glory or bravado. He wants to. I think it's bravado. I think he wants to show up Carmelo Anthony and make a shot in his face, like, and say like, "Oh, you can switch Carmelo on me, another superstar. He still ain't gonna stop me." I'm pretty sure that's what he's thinking in his mind. I no way I can be certain. I'm not Kobe. I'm not in his brain. Even all this is, there's no way I can be certain, but I'm really confident when I say he knew goddamn well Trevor Ariza was wide open. He also knew that that's a better shot. Trevor Ariza open for that three-pointer is better than a contested three by him. He knows this. And he's known this throughout his career, yet he continues to do it. So he cannot use the excuse, "Oh, I didn't know he was open," or whatever the excuse may be, like, "Oh, well, it's Smush Parker. Do I pass it to Smush Parker?" Or whatever the case may be. He knows. He's just choosing another motivation other than winning, which is, like I said, bravado in this instance, maybe glory in another instance. I don't know. But
arms.
Yeah,
And
I'm
the
just
shot goes up,
basically calling
right?
bullshit on Kobe when he says he didn't see Trevor open here. And yes, I'm calling bullshit on Kobe Bryant. And as I get older, I realize, fuck, man, the guy's human. He's an amazing player. The guy's a fucking human, not a cyborg. That's okay. He can have flaws. So, all this being said, this leads me to another nugget of wisdom I want you to take away from this is that even though like a player is the elite of the elite, if you're competing against someone who is just one of the, an elite, you're like, you put him on a pedestal, right? They have flaws. And don't like overcompensate your strategy. Like there's times in poker where I'm like, God, this guy's good. I gotta like jack up the variance and play this high variance style to make it more of a luck oriented game, so he can't, exploit his skill edge on me. Which sometimes that may be a good strategy, but don't go overboard with that strategy. Like it's easy to like go overboard with some of these strategies when playing against a very good player. This is high level shit I'm digging into, but like that's another segue is like when you're playing against a high level player, you want to increase the variance to take away their skill edge. Like if someone is like just straight up better than you want to increase the variance and make it more of a luck game as possible and less of a skill game. Now I'll leave it up to you to figure out how to do that. Like I said in poker, you're gonna just jack up the variance by playing like a lot of coin flip situations and pushing those coin flip situation edges, and trying to get the money in those situations. In basketball, there's ways to do that too. I'll let you figure out how to do that. But be careful not going like overboard with these strategies to where now you're just playing a losing, like a losing expected value. Whereas a standard strategy, like me versus you, I'm just gonna play as best I can against you. Maybe you'll have an off day. Maybe you'll make some mistakes. Maybe I'll actually poke some holes in your game plan or something. Um, don't go overboard with those high variance strategies when the standard strategy might be a better strategy. And don't like be careful not to put these players too high on a pedestal. Like even me, as I'm preaching to you this to you now, like question everything. Question Kobe. Like when Kobe said this is Kobe Bryant we're talking about here, and I'm like very confident that not only did he make a mistake in game, he made a mistake when reviewing his play. Like either that actually I think he still knew, but his ego didn't let him like reveal to us how he really felt and why his real motives for the mistake that he was lecturing on in this lecture. I'm so confident I'm right about this. There is no way that Kobe didn't know Trevor Ariza was open. And also, there's no way that Kobe must know that a contested shot for a long two, is a much worse shot than a wide open three. He must know that. So why is he doing this? It's his motives. And like it's just pretty crystal clear to me, and I hope it is to you too. So my point in all this is not to throw Kobe under the bus. It's to highlight and illustrate that everyone has flaws. Oftentimes they stem from discipline mistakes. And by discipline mistakes, more specifically, I mean having other motivations besides winning, which everyone has. Hell, even Michael Jordan smoked cigars. These discipline mistakes happen to various degrees depending on your opponent. Even the best players in the world can have gaping holes in their discipline. And as a competitor, it's your job to look for these holes and exploit them. If you think I'm off somehow, please let me know. If I'm missing something, please let me know. But I don't think I am. I think this is cut and dry. One last thing. When someone speaks so confidently as I am now, I tend to listen carefully what they're saying. There's like a podcast by Gilbert Arenas, and you should check it out. He often speaks with this kind of confidence, and it usually means he's put a lot of thought into it, as I have with this. I stroke my own ego there, admittedly. it makes me think that he's put a lot of thought into those things. And when I listen to what he's saying, it's really hard to find any holes in it. It all seems airtight. Thought of these things, and they're usually right about a lot of things. They seem to have airtight logic. All right, that's all for today. Bye.